me very well. I can never miss the opportunity to say something. I always have something to say, and I couldn't just let it go today. So I just wanted to say a few words, mainly to thank you all for sharing such a special day with us, and for making the effort of coming to be with us today. So your presence means so much to us. Thank you very much, everyone. I would also like to thank my new husband, for filling my life with adventure and humour, and for making me happier than I thought anybody could ever do it. So thank you very much. And now, please allow me to switch to Spanish for a little while, just to thank my family for everything they've done. Ya sabéis que, como soy la peque de la casa, y pues soy un producto de lo que me habéis enseñado, lo que me habéis ayudado. Ya sabéis que llegué a casa hecho una bolita pequeña con mucho pelo, en una manta envuelta a casa, y en estos 31 años desde que llegué al mundo, pues vamos, que no sería nada sin vosotros, eso ya lo sabéis. Entonces, aunque sí que es verdad que faltan varios pedacitos en nuestro plan, ya sabemos todos quién falta, pues hoy no están con nosotros, pero yo quiero pedir un brindis por mi familia, porque a saber dónde estaría yo sin mi familia. Que soy Andrés. Let's raise a toast for my family. Salud. Salud. And also to the memory of those absent. And thank you to my British family for always being there. For their priceless help with the organisation of this wedding and the organisation of our lives in general. So I think for the organisation of this wedding, the phrase Erica will know, or let's ask for this, has been uttered an average of 3.5 million times, perhaps. So thanks so much for not just your knowledge, but your help, your love, everything. And thank you for adopting me into the Allen family now. And that you've so kindly and lovingly done. You're one of a kind to me. And let me just finish by thanking you again for being here today. It's fantastic to see that so many lovely people care enough about you to give up their weekend to join us, to accompany us. So let's just raise a toast to all of you and thank you. Cheers. Salud.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve.
Myself and my beautiful wife. Just wanted to say a few words. I'm going to try and do some of it in Spanish, so apologies to the English people who don't understand, and then the Spanish people who probably won't understand. Just wanted to show just appreciation for the effort that you've all gone to today. You've come from all over the place. Those that have travelled from Valencia, Tenerife, the lakes in Cumbria, North Yorkshire, Manchester, Northampton, so it just means a lot that you've been able to be part of our special day, so it's good to see so many good friends and family around the room. Can't make this speech and not mention my closest family, and Mum and Dad and Philip and Erica, been very, very supportive along the way. Whether that was coming along to look at the venue, helping to get in touch with suppliers, picking up the suits, or my mum just general worrying, basically. Yeah, I've just been really supportive, when we've been decided to move around so much as well. So yeah, just thanks for putting up with me, really. I'm going to try a little bit un poquito de español. A la familia Hernández Álvaro, Pina, Álvaro Luzana, desde el primer día y habéis tratado como una más de la familia y habéis ofrecido vuestro afecto y hospitalidad. Me encanta visitaros porque haces que me siento como en casa en fin. Tu comida está siempre buenísima. not everyone can make it today, and I'm just happy that you've all made it. So it's just to take a moment to remember absent friends and family. I know we've both got people that we wanted to be here, including Veronica's dad, Rafael. So if you don't mind raising your glass. Prendemos por la memoria de nuestros parientes y amigos que no están. Just a toast to absent family and friends. Family and friends, I just want to thank Crook and the wedding planners. They've been amazing. They've always been available to us, to Lee, photographer, who met at the Bennett's wedding last year, and the DJ Graham. You'll meet him later. Obviously, I need to give a big thanks to all the to the bridesmaids, Mayela, Erica, Rocio, who all look amazing, and I know how much support you've given Veronica these last few months. So you know, you're great friends to run it. It's great that you could all be here for a special day. So from Brindos por las damas de honor. So just a toast to the bridesmaids. Sorry, I've left the one part about Veronica till the end. So paso ahora a hablar de la guapísima novia Veronica, que está preciosa. Just saying how beautiful she looks. So basically, we both met while we were living in Ambleside in the lakes. We each had friends who sort of knew each other. We ended up meeting together in just in a little basement bar in Ambleside. To watch the El Clasico, maybe that sounds worse. But one of the first things I remember about Veronica was the massive flu that she had on that day. But with that aside, really, we just got chatting and we just seemed to hit it off straight away. I don't really remember much of the game, to be honest. And from her, it was just humour, warmness that really I took to, and just the little adventures that we were going on all the time that we sort of still planning as well. So yeah, last November we got engaged, and for Veronica's 30th birthday we just surprised her with a weekend in Edinburgh, being our sort of favourite city. First place we went to together, and before that we sort of looked it up. So I had to build up a bit of courage to propose. I think it was like day 3 or 4.
In the dark.
Yeah. So we wandered up to Edinburgh Castle in the night, and I think it was because I was so nervous. We were like in the darkest corner of Edinburgh Castle, so basically no one could see. So I don't even know if you could see me really. And we jumped around and said yes, and then we just went for a drink afterwards on the Golden Mile, and yeah, that was that. So yeah, I just wanted to say I just couldn't be happier to be spending the rest of my life with you, really. And so un brindis por mi mujer, la nueva señora Allen. So this is my wife and the new Mrs. Allen. Right, so I'm going to pass you over to Paulie and my brother Philip. So I must say, my brother's wedding back in 2014, so I was one of his best man, so just hope he's got a short memory. Then we've got Paulie, our local celebrity here. So just to say, to quote my own brother from his wedding, like the brother I never had. So just both enjoy yourselves, and just remember I'm doing a speech for you next year in August. So, thanks everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hello everyone, and set myself on fire then. For those of you who didn't read the wedding website that they created, just like me, I'm Paulie, the real best man. Everyone knows how to choose Phil. And I'm genuinely honoured to be standing here and carrying on the final part of my best man duties. Standing in front of a crowd is something that absolutely terrifies me, so thank you all for coming out here just to support me in that. I have to say a few things about Stephen and Veronica, but it's going to be mainly Stephen because I'm a little bit scared of Veronica. It's actually going to be all about Stephen anyway. I'm going to try and get off to a good start. I'm going to say, Veronica, estás preciosa. And Fina, estás preciosa. And bridesmaids, estás preciosa. Stephen, buen intento. Hola, supiera hablar más español, pero no sé así que el resto será en inglés. Alright. Been trying all week. When Stephen first asked me to be his best man around a year ago, I quickly wrote and memorised his speech. When we travelled to Euro 2016 in France in June, I regretted asking him for the ground rules for my best man speech. He told me to remember, due to the range of nationalities and cultures in the room, stay away from anything about culture, that would not be sensible. He also said stay away from comments about his height or hairline. He said maybe Paulie, for once in your life, get some original material. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. He also said don't swear, as it might offend my mother. So when I got home, I ripped up my carefully worded speech and went straight back to the drawing board. No swearing, no jokes about his hairline. What was I going to do? What I did was I looked on the internet, but found little inspiration. I then purchased a book on best man speeches and quickly threw it out. Then I spoke to Phil with his previous experience of best man and being a groom, an experienced speechwriter. Phil told me to reflect on my life involving Stephen and talk about that, and that is what I did. Me and Stephen actually go back around 26 years, and it was actually Phil who told me that we met at his 5th birthday party. I don't recall this, so the party can't have been that good. Maybe it's because we would have been 2 at the time. My earliest actual memories of Stephen are of playing on the school football team together. He earned himself a nickname, Little Magic, due to his skill on the ball and miniature stature. It's sad to say that this skill and notoriety have not carried on into later life, as he recently moved back to the northeast and came out on a 5-a-side game of football with us. Within 10 minutes, he disappeared mysteriously. Those of you who were there will remember that. And threw up somewhere in there. Veronica has no stamina whatsoever. not in other life. Yes, that happened. Don't shake your head. Stephen and I went through primary and secondary school together in pretty much all of the same classes. We even took our first little trip together in year 8, going away on a memorable trip to Germany with the school. It was here that we stumbled across sex shops on the streets of Cologne and creatively decorated the table football table with what we found. Yes, Judith, your little 12-year-old Stephen did that. Through a table football table. That happened. It did. It happened. When Stephen grew up, he quickly seemed to grow tired of endless drunken nights out in Durham and Sunderland and decided to travel the world. I didn't expect this to be much of a success, as Stephen is someone who could get lost in his own bedroom. But I was wrong. He would return every now and then and fill me in on his adventures. He recounted tales of America, Canada, Thailand and Cambodia. I was amazed. It struck us one night over a beer. Let's go on a trip together. Somehow, and for reasons best known to pretty much nobody, it wasn't Thailand or Cambodia, but Scotland. A 40-year-old camper van, which had only 4 gears and a top speed of 40 miles an hour. Winter was fast approaching, and it wasn't long before disaster struck, or rather Stephen did. The camper van right into that nice old lady's wall. He never could drive. For you there. We made a quick getaway. After a quick getaway, we somehow managed to achieve quite a lot on the rest of that trip. We conquered Britain's highest peak, Ben Nevis, touring ancient castles and distilleries, and finishing up tearing up the streets of Edinburgh with a giant and a dwarf for company. But that's another story. So, with our raging success story still fresh in our minds, a trip to Iceland followed. Achievements here included an Icelandic Premier League game, which really was as rubbish as it sounds, off-roading in an enormous and totally unnecessary jeep, and attending the Icelandic Phallological Museum. That's a penis museum. We actually went there. Penis museum. 9 months later, we were at it again. Ambitious enough now to go that little bit further. China beckoned, and here we went to the Great Wall. One of the best days of my life. However, Stephen had an interesting opinion on this, and I asked him how he felt about the Great Wall of China. He said it's good, but not great. Maybe they should call it the Good Wall of China. I would say that doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? Ironically enough, Stephen was lucky to have any photos of the Good Wall of China as he left his camera on the bus. He called us to have to chase the bus all the way back down the mountain to get the camera. Only Stephen could do that at a wonder of the world. I expected Stephen, with his previous experience in the Far East, to look after my interests whilst we were in China, but he did not. We got lost every night in Beijing, and I got food poisoning within 3 days, and I thought for the rest of the holiday. I recall vividly waking up with a football for a stomach, in a packed dorm in Beijing, and running to the bathroom, throwing up the raw shellfish that the locals had let us eat earlier. I thought I was dying that night in Beijing. My eyes were bloodshot and I was covered in sweat. My stomach lurched with pain. I was offered little comfort from Stephen as he scuttled into the bathroom half naked and said, "Paulie, are you okay?" Yes, big lad. He likes to shoot the question out too. It was shortly after this, while still in China, we were on a cross-country overnight train, when Stephen said to me that he was thinking of marrying Veronica. He asked my opinion on this. I said, "Stephen, for once in your life, don't do it. Ask her to marry you. She's a great girl." I surprised myself with this mature advice. Quickly followed it up with, "Ask her quick, or the rest of your hair will have fallen out." As is usual for Stephen, he dithered around for another 9 months before finally asking her to marry him. Another 9 months. As you can see, not all of his hair had fallen out. So I admit to being slightly wrong about that. I always knew he would ask her though. I could tell his attitude was different towards this girl, Veronica. He once had a girlfriend in his early 20s who was perfectly nice, and she seemed to like him a lot. When I asked him if he would be reconsidering his up-and-coming trip to Canada, he responded, "I'll never let a girl get in the way of my travels." Yes, Veronica, he actually said that. However, that is a marked difference from the present day. I'm still waiting to go to North Korea, even now. Next year's excuse is something about a honeymoon, something like that. All joking aside, I don't blame Stephen for ditching me in favour of his new wife. I remember the first time I met Veronica, it was shortly after Stephen had told me of this girl he'd been seeing in Ambleside. He said, "Not embarrass me, Polly, when you come over and see me at the hotel." As I rocked up on my motorbike, looking super cool. It's funny about that. I was greeted by an attractive girl who rushed from the building and exclaimed with a slight South African Australian twang to her perfect English, "Hi, you must be Paulie. How great to meet you." She kissed me once on each cheek. Felt the service has vastly improved this one. Either that or my fame, as Stephen alluded to earlier, must have spread. I never imagined for a second that this was the girl Stephen had been telling me about. She didn't seem so Spanish, and was miles too good looking for him. Turns out, as I've got to know Veronica, she's more than just too good looking for Stephen. She is intelligent, hard-working, and a decent cook. She also speaks better English than Stephen does. I like that. So tap it up. Okay, I am actually finished. Actually, how I would like to finish is to thank Stephen for asking me to be his best man. When he asked me, it was one of the proudest moments of my life, and allowed me to work on a great stag do with his brother, and I think we all thoroughly enjoyed that. Stephen is my best man next year, and I will credit him with re-inspiring a love in me of travel that I lost for many years in my early 20s. I am a better person for the time I've spent with him, and I'm honoured to be standing here today. I know I give him a hard time, as I have in the speech, but I actually mean every word of that. I'm happy he's come home to the North East and brought Veronica with him. You could all join me in raising a glass, which is over there. To the new Mr. and Mrs. Allen, I would wish them luck, but I have a feeling they won't be needing it.
Feel like I've got a lot to live up to now. Great first speech, Polly. Well done. Well done. Now, before I undertake the customary duty of providing Stephen with an uncomfortable few minutes, it is part of the official duty of the best man to thank Stephen on behalf of his on behalf of the bridesmaids for his kind words and for having their play part on this really special day. They all look wonderful, and I think we can all agree that they've done an excellent job. Indeed, they are only eclipsed by Veronica herself, who looks absolutely stunning. Some as you know, as most of you know, Stephen was my best man nearly 3 years ago, and he did a fantastic job. So it's a real honour and a privilege to be stood by his side today as one of his best men. So, I believe the first thing the best man should do is explain how he knows the groom. Well, being his brother, our best mate was long before any time we can both really remember. But I'm told I wasn't too keen on him when he first arrived, as our man found me prodding him at his cot. Despite this, we are very close. There's nothing I wouldn't do for Stephen, and likewise there's nothing Stephen wouldn't do for me. In fact, we spent most of our time doing just that, nothing for each other. So a good standpoint is maybe our early life together as children. While we were growing up together in those early days, I'm proud to say that I was an angelic child, never causing any trouble. Doing the same look except Stephen. Stephen was always fairly competitive and liked to win. Still is. I remember in particular one Christmas, when I was really, really excited to get the game Battleships. You all know the game Battleships, yeah? And after eating our Christmas dinner, we sat down together to play the game. Well, within a few minutes, Steve was clearly losing. Instead of losing gracefully to his big brother, he proceeded to pick it up and throw the battleships across the room, smashing it into several pieces. This incident still gives me nightmares to this day, but I decided today would be a good day to forgive and forget, so I got you this, Stephen. But Veronica, I know from experience that wives like to win, and if I were you, battleships is the only thing I'll let win. Despite the battleships incident of Christmas, whatever year it was, Steve and I got on fairly well for most of the time, and our fondest memories revolve around football and wrestling. I'm sure Veronica and Erica would say some things never change, and they were completely right. Wrestling has always been a passion for Stephen and I, and despite Mum thinking the phase would pass, in 2010 Stephen and I would live out one of our childhood dreams by travelling to Arizona to see WrestleMania. The trip was amazing, if you like wrestling. It didn't all go swimmingly. The last thing on the itinerary for the trip was to check out a baseball game. Now, we do with how we get to the ground, and it seemed pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It was a big and hot day, and our first mistake came in leaving the hotel without a bottle of water. We set off walking in the direction of the ground, and soon found ourselves heading into the desert. We did comment to each other that it was slightly strange that there wasn't a proper road to a major baseball ground. In the blistering heat, we walked over rubble, past cactuses, and even walked through an industrial office block. Tempers began to fray, but we knew there was no way we could have got the directions wrong, because us Allens don't get lost. Eventually, just as we were thinking we'd be lost in the desert forever, the ground came into sight. I don't know which one of us was more relieved on that day. At the ground, we commented to the staff that this ground was impossible to get to. We commented to be shown, right behind us, there's a tram that went directly from the hotel to the ground. To this day, I'm sure we always get lost. It was all Stephen's fault, so Veronica, I suggest you are the map reader in this marriage.
You feel scary, Clive.
Yeah. I remember a golf course on the Hendu that wasn't scheduled.
Anyway, but our near-death experience in the desert didn't put Stephen off travelling, and he spent much of his early 20s in both America and Canada. The Facebook messages and emails he sent me made it sound so good, I decided I had to go and visit him while he was there. To be fair, he helped me plan an incredible 2-week trip to visit him, and I saw loads of amazing things. To be honest, the most amazing thing I saw though was Stephen cook me dinner for the first time. Now I was gobsmacked when he said he would cook dinner, as when we lived at home, his idea of making food was getting a chocolate bar from the fridge. Stephen said he was cooking steak and chips. Nice. He put a steak in the pan and bought the chips from KFC. To be fair, the best part of the meal was the cold beer that I got out the fridge myself. I'm going to brush up on your cooking skills now that you have a wife. Hold on, I missed a bit. Alright, yeah, sorry. Fast forward a few years, Steve was living in the Lakes. One day he rang me and told me he met a lovely Spanish girl. I was really pleased with him when I first met Veronica. I could tell that she was perfect for Steve. But I was quite confused, because I'm sure Stephen said he met a Spanish girl. Yeah, I was convinced the girl I just met was English. It turns out Veronica was Spanish, but she's better speaking English than I am. But over the past few years, I've loved getting to know Veronica, and anyone can see that they are perfectly suited to each other. Unfortunately for Stephen, my wife Erica has also enjoyed getting to know Veronica and has been training her how to get her husband under the thumb. Here we go. Right. So I want to learn some Spanish for Veronica and her family, including my speech. As soon as Stephen asked me to be the best man, I began learning. So here goes. Esteban, Veronica. I've got no idea what I just said.
Esteban y
Veronica. Right, I do apologise. It is safe to say that Stephen was definitely the most academic brother out of the two of us. I think that's having out. All joking aside, I want to take this moment to say what a privilege it is today to be your best man. I really couldn't wish for a better brother. And it's truly impossible for me to put into words just how much you mean to me. I can assure you that the whole family is proud of you, Stephen, and we are thrilled to see you marrying your beautiful bride, Veronica, today. And actually, me and Veronica have been conspiring to get you a little gift using my new contacts. So, there you go. You just want to open that now? From my new friend Paul, or as you all know him, Paul Gascoigne. Yeah.
Congratulations on your wedding day, Paul Gascoigne.
So it now gives me immense pleasure to invite you all to stand once more. Raise your glasses and we wish them well for the future, love, laughter, and happy together forever. Stephen and Veronica.
Stephen and Veronica.